Special segment tonight, Drugs and Terror. Part 2 of our report on how the drug trade is an ever more vicious, violent business. In too many areas, it is out of control. Last night on this program, we saw how the drug lords of Colombia shoot or kidnap anyone who gets in their way. Tonight, what happens in this country, in America? NBC's Don Oliver and Noah Nelson show us the wide range of violence and the growing anger in some communities. We begin with Oliver and the bloody business of selling drugs.
A drug deal in New York City, in the shadow of the Pan Am building. In Los Angeles, drugs and money change hands. In city after city, in broad daylight, drug dealers brazenly ply their wares. And night after night, there are bodies, as the gangs who control the drug trade fight over territory. Across the country, hundreds are killed or wounded every week in gang-related shootings. Many innocent people who just happen to get in the way.
I just want to know why my child? What was...
Her 15-year-old daughter was killed.
You tell me where I can go to live in peace and peace of mind, then I will go. But there's nowhere that's safe in the city of Los Angeles.
All right, you got to stand up.
It is hard to get convictions in gang murders because witnesses are terrified.
It's a problem. I would say the general tendency is that they will not cooperate with us.
Law officers say there are direct links now between gangs and Colombian drug dealers.
Members of the LA street gangs know some of the Colombians well enough to go in and buy the cocaine in bulk.
Officials say the price of cocaine has declined, that increased violence is the result of greater competition to make money. Identical graffiti in many cities shows gang members are on the move. Los Angeles gang members have been arrested as far east as Kansas City. They go where the prospect of sales is greater.
You can make more money in Vegas than anywhere, because the city never sleeps.
It is just terrible. The quality of life is almost unbearable.
Whole neighborhoods have been taken over by gangs. Residents say they are prisoners in their own homes.
We had at least 10 killings in the last 2 years.
This man, who didn't want to be identified, watches the drug dealings from his window. His house was shot up in a battle between rival gangs. His wife and 3 children cowered on the floor.
Bullets went literally over my baby's crib where she was sleeping.
In a Hispanic neighborhood in Chicago, the fear level is the same.
We're living in a war zone.
49 West Gardena Boulevard in Toronto.
3 weeks ago, police and sheriff's departments in Los Angeles began a major campaign to arrest gang members, sweeping through areas where they are known to gather. Hundreds have been arrested, and police have found what they knew all along. The drug money has turned street gangs into small armies.
We have semi-automatic and full automatic machine guns. We have 9mm submachine gun, type weapons.
In this kind of police action, it is difficult to get convictions. Some criticize the sweeps as high publicity hype.
Designed, I think, to palliate the public without delivering anything substantively that's going to change the situation.
And despite the new vigilance, the gang shootings and killings have continued. No one predicts a solution to the problem is likely to arrive soon. Don Oliver, NBC News, Los Angeles.
In Florida, undercover agents move against local crack dealers and users. Such raids appear to be effective, but residents of crack-dominated neighborhoods complain that as soon as police leave, the dealers are back in business. Angry and hopeless, some citizens have taken the law into their own hands, a vigilante backlash against crime. In Miami, crack houses have become the targets of arsonists. Recently, 4 suspected crack parlors were destroyed within a 10-hour period. Earlier this month in New York City, several people were arrested for beating a purse snatcher to death. They say their neighborhood has been plagued by a series of drug-related crimes. In Detroit, 2 men were charged with arson after they burned down this house. Butch Parisi and his neighbor, Perry Kent, say they took drastic measures to get rid of a nest of crack dealers.
We just had a problem. We had to have it taken care of. Right there and then. And that's what happened. The problem is solved. The neighborhood is safe again. And the kids can go out and play.
Criminologists say vigilantes act out of a misguided sense of righteousness.
And to burn down the crack house is to be as bad as the people who run the crack house. It's to violate the law. It's to say, I'm going to do what I want to do regardless of what the law says.
But there is also a growing willingness among citizens to fight crime within the law. In New York, a Muslim group supplements police with its own 24-hour-a-day patrols. The drug pushers who were here in force have gone. In Los Angeles, a man videotapes drug deals for police to see. He says the risk is worth it.
Down with dope! Up with hope!
In Florida, citizens protest against drugs and in favor of law enforcement. They want dealers to get the message.
In many high-crime areas, residents have begun to stand up and fight. But they are up against violent and powerful organizations, highly motivated by huge profits.
Crack houses in Miami it's not unusual to see them do $20,000, $30,000 business a day. 10 houses, $300,000 a day, and the green grass grows all around.
Meanwhile, these policemen continue the struggle to break crack's chokehold on their community. They say what they need to win are lawful allies, not vigilantes. Noah Nelson, NBC News, Miami.
That's Nightly News for this Tuesday night. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll be off for a few days. Connie Chung will be here tomorrow. I'll see you again next Monday.